little bit of an inside edge on it, but no run. Fielded by Jamie McElroy. Again, no run. I think we can have a bowling change at the far end because Podmore has just gone off. Just wandering into the pavilion. His stint done for the next few minutes. As the sun comes out, Lewis Gregory steers that one to cover point. No run. Dan Douthwaite trudges back to his mark. He runs quite a long way, starting near the pile of sawdust there. Ball wraps Gregory's thighs. He bends down, picks it up to save the fielders coming in. He's done more fielding than some of the Glamorgan boys so far. I've umpired matches where fielders would appeal for it. Backward defensive shot, pushed mid-on. Ball kept a bit low. We lose the sun again. Outside the off stump, Gregory lets it alone. Douthwaite's creating quite a little hole in the corner of the crease there, where his left foot lands. The junction of the popping crease and the left return crease. You see there the Quantocks in the background looking rather gloomy, dark and depressing. The shower of rain still appears to be hanging around just on the northern edge on the left of what was the left of your picture. And the replacement bowler at the Lordie and Botham stand end is the replacement fielder, Tim van der Gutten. Three slips, a fine leg and two saving one on the leg side, and three saving one on the offside. He's bowling to James Rue. James lets the first one go through. Cook takes it at his ankles. Not a lot of bounce on that one. Rue pushes that one to mid-on. No run. Rue pushes forward, ball only goes 5 yards, but Gregory calls in for a single. Everybody's home quite happily. Two slip fielders, hands in pockets. Amble across to the other side of the wicket. Lloyd's giving a big round of applause, I suspect just to keep his hands warm. It's now Van der Gutten to Gregory. Pushes that out towards square leg. Vacant position, fielders run round. Easy single. The slip fielders trudge now to their left. Notice Ian Blackwell, the umpire's not bothering to change sides every ball. Can't say I blame him. Van der Gutten in. Root turns him square on the leg side. Another single. Fielders change once again. Keeps them warm. It's Van der Gutten in. Gregory turns it to leg for a single. That's getting runs the hard way. Get him in ones. On screen we have that James Hildreth. Chattanooga wicketkeeper Steve Davis. James Hildreth used to be one of the star batsmen here at the county ground, retired at the end of last season. I think has now set up some sort of financial consultancy business. And he has a stand named after him that we are looking at. And like all the other stands in the ground today, there's no one sitting. Oh, I tell a lie. I see two people sitting on my right-hand side. We have at least two spectators. Now change of bowling at this end. Yesterday's opening bowler, Jamie McIlroy, left arm over the wicket. James Hildreth is going to play his club cricket in Berkshire again this year. Going back to his old club. We're trying to persuade him to play for Middlesex. I'm not sure we will. He might come out and play for us on a Sunday occasionally. In the new Somerset Sunday T20 League. McIlroy again, into Gregory, pulls out of it. Can't be somebody moving behind the bowler's arm because there's nobody there. Suspect Gregory just wasn't quite ready, he hadn't looked up. Bowlers hate that. They've a wasted 25-30 yard run. Have to do it all again. Gregory expansive drive straight to Byram at mid-off. No run. A couple of yards over the side would probably have been 4. Another expansive drive, which failed to make contact with his bat. Taken cleanly by Cook. Left-hander stock ball away from the bat, away from the right-hand batsman. She's being helped by the wind, which is blowing from the right as we look. Camera's not quite behind it. I suspect that pitched outside leg stump and going down leg side. Got Gregory above the pad. It just between the pad and the thigh pad. Very painful. Gregory launched into that one. Didn't quite middle it. Looking for 6 over long off McIlroy. Has to settle for 1 and pinch the bowling. Somerset at 195 for 5 off 38 overs. James Rew on 23. Lewis Gregory on 18. Van der Gutten about to start his 8th over. So far he's taken 1 for 41. And McIlroy's taken 0 for 20 off his 7 so far. Gregory well beaten with that one. Taken by Cook. But he got nowhere near it. Gosh, the crowd is doubling up. We have one person sitting on my left-hand side now. In the end of the Somerset stand. I have 3 people watching that I can see. Gregory again plays backward, but this time uses the bat. Pushes it out to cover point. There's a wander down the wicket, tapping it down. Down the leg side, well stopped by Cook. Didn't quite take it cleanly, but we'll forgive him. It was well wide and kept quite low. He saved his side 4 byes. It's Van der Gutten again. To Lewis Gregory. Again plays and misses. Slips. Belatedly the bowler making an appeal. Ben Peveril turns it down and signals to his fellow umpire there are 2 balls left in the over. I have a great respect for Ben Peveril as an umpire. He's proved there's a pathway through from the amateur game to the professional game. And he did some of my umpire coaching when I qualified a few years ago. Gregory charged down the wicket at that one. Very aggressive intent, but missed it. Perhaps I sense a declaration coming. He wants to get to 200. The declaration now would leave Glamorgan batting an hour and 20 minutes or so. Hammered into the covers. Stopped by Carlson, not picked up cleanly, but stopped. No run. Not only are there very few spectators in the ground, I can't see any in the retirement flats either, because you normally have people sitting out on their balconies watching a bit of cricket. I can't see anybody up there at the moment. They would be feeling the full force of this easterly breeze if they sat there. There's McIlroy again coming in from the Trescothick end. James Rew stabs down on it. Hits it about 3 or 4 yards. Van de Gutten was there, out of position there. He'd left his sweater at third man. And he wanted to put it on, so he's had to run to third man to fetch it and then go back and field it fine leg. Rew turns out on the leg side. Easily fielded by Harris. No run. The defensive shot from Rew trickles towards gully, but Andrew Salter nips in from point to pick up the ball. The ground staff are out adjusting the net in front of the floods. Rew didn't know a lot about that one. Let's cut him in half. Went down the leg side, taken by Chris Cook. Ian Blackwell signals to Ben Peverell. There are 2 balls left in the over. Straight drive by Rew, well fielded by McIlroy in his follow through. No semblance of a chance. Rew hit it straight into the ground. Rew lets go the ball. Outside off stump, no run. Batsman having a little discussion in the middle of the pitch. There's Van de Gutten coming in again. Gregory drives straight to Kieran Carlson at extra cover. No run. The ground staff didn't do a very good job of putting the net back up. It's just fallen down again. Van de Gutten to Gregory. He was pushed out into covers. Carlson again. Having another go at fixing it. Ground there is so soft, the tension on the net is probably pulling the stays out of the ground. Gregory again forward, this time pushing to mid-on. I think it's James Harris is polishing the ball like mad, hoping to get to use it himself in a few minutes. Yes, Harris, number 9. not had a bowl yet today. It's Vandergood and Gregory drives, gets a thick outside edge. It'll go down in the book as 4 runs. And the ball stranded in the middle of what looks a bit like the Sahara Desert. And our commentary's point here. Our reinforcements are coming from the ground staff now. They've got to be careful because they're working almost behind the bowler's arm. Carlson trying to dry the ball. Gregory again punches that one into the covers. Carlson again fields. So at this point with the amateur cricketers we'll be saying, can anybody else play? Oh, I tell a lie, it wasn't reinforcements from the ground staff. It looks like a couple of the Somerset coaches having a wander around. Gregory flashes outside the off stump, fails to make contact. Cook takes, and everybody changes ends. Ground staff now getting to work quite hard on that end post. The bowling's now finished from that end, so they can work there with impunity. It's going to be McElroy again from the Triscothic end. I know the ground's flat, but it's an optical illusion from this end that he's running up the hill. Because we're so high, it seems he's running up a hill. He's not. Expansive drive from Rue. Forgets to hit the ball. Chris Cook again takes. The ground staff continue to try and fix the stays to the end pole of the netting so they won't come out of the ground. Rue plays that quietly to backward point. No run. Somerset only want 1 to reach 200. Currently sitting on 199. Rue's tempted to have a go at that. Took his bat away at the last moment. Straight through to Cook. That's one thing. We've not seen any of these ramp shots in this game so far. The sort of shot that was not in the coaching manual when I played cricket. Rue plays at that one, gets a thick outside edge, and the ball runs into the netting for 4. That's Somerset onto 203. Again pushed out into the covers, no run. And Glamorgan They've done the same as Somerset did throughout the innings. There's at least 3 slips. And combined with the short boundaries and the relatively attacking field, it's no wonder we have reasonable scoring rates. Rue again off the back foot. Goes to backward point. The batsman, a few of the Glamorgan fielders now in consultation, perhaps coming to a mutual decision as to when the declaration will happen. Chris Cook and Billy Root, I think, talking. Oh, Chris Cook and David Lloyd talking to Lewis Gregory. James Rue listening in intently. Well, it seems the declaration's not coming yet. James Harris seems to have had a nod that he's going to come and have a bowl at this end. But in the meantime, it's Van der Gutten to Lewis Gregory, who edges to second slip, where he's caught by Sam Northeast. He's calling the Nets batsman out, so there's obviously no declaration yet. Lewis Gregory was caught Northeast, bowled Van der Gutten for 22. The total on 203 now for 6. This is the 43rd over of the innings. Perhaps the discussion was that Glamorgan wanted to keep bowling for a little longer. Somerset batsman running out so he won't get timed out. I shouldn't think there's a danger of that in this game. Looks like Craig Overton. Yes. Craig Overton coming out to join James Rue. Very disparate in sizings. Rue barely comes up to Overton's shoulder. Overton wants his guard. Ben Peverill's not looking. Overton's a guest right. First ball, Overton forward. Fielded by Carlson. Again, Overton goes forward. Ball goes out into the covers. The last catch when Lewis Gregory was out was a good one by Sam Northeast. Went fairly low, took it at ankle high. Overton striking over mid-wicket, not bothering to run. 6 runs, effortless. 2 balls left in the over. Short pitch ball, Overton just dismissed it from his presence. Van der Gooten again. Overton goes to play, takes his bat away. Ball went fairly close to his gloves, but not enough to encourage the fielders. Van der Gooten again. Overton drives, beats cover point, 4 runs. So an interesting over, a wicket, a 6 and a 4. The 12th man rushes out to fetch the ball. Here's James Harris bowling from the Trescothick end. Taking a very long run. Root pushes forward, the ball goes to cover point. James Harris must have been cold in the field because umpire Blackwell is now tucked up with 2 sweaters. The umpires have lovely little loops on the back of their coats so they can tuck the sweaters in. They haven't got to hang on to them. Even we amateur umpires have those loops on our jackets. We amateur umpires say, look, we get to look exactly the same as these first-class umpires. White shoes, dark trousers, jackets, hats. The only difference is we have to buy ours. Rue steers that one. Past backward point. 4 runs. Short outside the off stump. Harris again coming in, bowling to James Rue. Forward defensive shot. Craig Overton backs way into his crease so he doesn't get run out. Not that I think that would happen in this sort of game. Rue taps that one down just in front of him. Again, no run. All 3 slips have their hands in their pockets. as does mid-wicket and fine leg. Can't say I blame them. Flashing drive outside off stump. And I see both umpires are now wearing gloves. It must be quite cold out there. Looks like we're having a bit of spin. Chris Cook has thrown away his hat. And taking the helmet from Billy Root, who's coming onto field. And Andrew Salter, the off-spinner, is coming on to bowl. Looks like Tim van der Gutten has gone off. We'll have a different field now. Somerset used a leg spinner. It's the first off-spinner we've seen for the duration of the game. 3 saving 1 on the offside. David Lloyd still at slip. Short fine leg, square leg, backward square leg, mid-wicket. Deep long on, and deep mid-wicket. Going to tempt Overton to hit the Hildreth stand or the Somerset stand. Overton drives the first ball along the floor, out to long on. Cook and Lloyd setting the field between them. A short back, but short fine leg, deep square leg. To the left-handed Drew, who edges it to third man. Easy single. Leave it at that. Colin Ingram has escaped from fielding in the slips and is now a deep long on. Hoping perhaps that Overton will give him some catching practice. Very respectful forward defensive shot. Backward defensive shot this time. Salter fields off his own bowling. Blackish clouds seem to be looming up from our left. Overton forward again, just pushes it down the pitch. Salter fields. Overton punches that into the covers. Just gets a single. The fielders jog to the other end. David Lloyd having a chat with both batsmen. Somerset scores now reached 220 for 6 of 45 overs. Rue is on 32, Overton on 12. Harris now bowling 8 overs for 39, and Salter 1 over for 2. Respectful defensive shot from Overton, pushes it out into the covers again. Eddie Byram, formerly of this parish, fields. It's James Harris again. Overton caresses that one through the covers for a very simple 4 runs. Short ball outside the off stump, just stroked away. Tucked away this time to deep square leg. Fielded right on the boundary. It's Harris to Rue, just pushes it back down the wicket. I'm just looking at Craig Overton's batting figures. He does have a first-class century, which he scored 138 against Hampshire here at Taunton in 2016. That was an edge from Rue. Rue were straight through the slips. But all counts as 4 runs. Overton, of course, has played for England one day and Test cricket. Half-hearted appeals from Glamorgan. Mr. Blackwell not interested. Harris takes one of his 2 sweaters. Somerset 229 for 6 of 46. Rue is on 36, Overton on 17. It'll be Salter again. Andrew Salter, off spinner. With 2 out, it's the most we've seen out of the whole game, I think. 2 boundary riders. Overton just tucks that away to short fine leg. No run. Oh, that's an expensive high. Stopped just like a wedge shot at golf. Overton gets 1 run, almost reaches the boundary. But I've seen Craig Overton hit a golf ball, and it goes a long way. Concerted LBW appeal against James Rue. Ben Peverell not interested. Vociferous appeal. I can see why it wasn't given. Although our cameras are not quite behind the pitch, behind the stumps there. Rue advances down the wicket. Salter pretends to field and throw it in, but misses it. And Overton picks the ball up. Salter bowling round the wicket to the left-hander. Coming around a fairly straight line for his run. Rue pushes it back. Salter dives forward in an attempt to make a catch. Not happening. Rue chucks that one away to mid-wicket. End of another over. Somerset remain 230. So in the session so far, an hour and a half, they've scored 98 runs. We started at, those who missed it, we started at 3:30. We're going on for another hour, light and rain permitting. We are expecting Somerset to declare at some stage. It did seem earlier on that Glamorgan, in a discussion with Lewis Gregory, were opting to bowl further. They'd rather keep bowling. So Somerset to keep him batting. And Overton played that ball just a backward point again. The three slips all there, hands in pockets, muttering, why have we got to be standing here in the cold? Why can't we run around? Again, playing a miss. Now, the best position to be on the field in weather like this today is where Chris Cook is, wicket-keeper. Got your pads keeping your legs warm, 2 pairs of gloves keeping your hands warm. Can't fail. Ball went down the leg side. Leg by. Overton missed it. Thumped him on the leg. You could tell the umpire was going to signal a leg by because his hand was out. It's a reminder to him to signal his leg by as well as to actually signal it. It's Harris again to Rue, who's played back, edged, caught by David Lloyd at slip. So that's Rue out for 36. Somerset 231 for 7. And that's Harris's first wicket. He's got 9.4 overs, 1 for 48. It looks like that's the declaration, because both Somerset batsmen have retired. The fielders are wandering off. Somerset fielders are beginning to come out for a little warm-up. So Somerset will have about 46 minutes to bowl at Glamorgan tonight. Glamorgan then 2:31. Play should resume at just about 5:15. That's always assuming these clouds that are coming over don't drop some rain. Seeing there a view of the looking north towards the Quantocks over the Lordie and Botham stand. Groundsman carrying out the pitch marking equipment. And the brushes to brush up all any loose dust. See the 4 pitch covers. They're waiting to be brushed back on tonight. And around the boundary of various places are the white sheets that are used to cover the rest of the square and the bowlers' run-ups. They're giving the roller a wipe to take off any dust that's on it so it doesn't push in the indentations into the pitch, but it takes the indentations out. Now, it's not going to be too easy to identify the Somerset fielders. Whilst they all have numbers on their shirts, they do not have numbers on their nice woolly sweaters. Glamorgan sweaters were not the traditional wool type. They were more the newfangled things. More like gilets. So when Somerset take any catches, I shall have to wait for the scorers to tell me who's taking the catch. The scorers are both sitting on my left, behind a glass partition. Two scorers are Polly Rhodes for Somerset and Andrew Hignell for Glamorgan. Ground staff repainting the bowling creases and the popping creases to give the umpires a fighting chance. Oh, that was done in the lower league levels. Not many grounds, even at Whipple level, remark pitches in the interval. It's a great help to umpires when it's done. A couple of the Somerset coaches out there seem to be more rehearsing golf shots rather than cricket shots. And quite a lot of the Somerset boys are sporting bobble hats. I can see 6 out there at the moment. One of the wearers is not wearing, or 2 of the wearers not wearing flannels, so I assume they're not going to be playing. And there are 5 of the boys in. I tell a lie, 6 of the boys in flannels wearing bobble hats. I can't say I blame them. I shall take a short break. I'll be back with you just before play starts. Welcome back to the Cooper Associates County Ground. Umpires Ian Blackwell and Ben Peveril are both making their way out to the wicket. The ground staff taking the roller off. The Somerset team are all out warming up. They've been quite successful in hitting the little plastic stumps on an adjoining pitch. And as is their wont, the umpires will be changing ends. For the first innings of each side, Ian Blackwell was standing at our commentary end, and Ben Peveril at the far end, the Ian Botham stand end. Now Ben Peveril has come to this end, and Ian Blackwell is going to the Lord Ian Botham stand end. Looks like skipper Lewis Gregory is going to open the bowling when we eventually get a couple of batsmen out there. One batsman's quietly making his way out. There's the second one running up, 50 yards behind. The opening batsmen are David Lloyd, number 73, who will be taking strike, and Dan Douthwaite, who didn't get a knock in the first innings. And it's Gregory to Lloyd with about 43 minutes to play. Outside the off stump, no shot. Taken by James Rue. Somerset with 4 slips. 2 saving, 1 on the offside. A fine leg. Deep fine leg, mid-on, and a short leg. Short leg standing on the matting, covering the pitch. It'll be used for the first home championship game, early April. Ooh. And that's the first wicket for Somerset. Great bit of fielding. Hit the stumps direct. Dan Douthwaite's innings, very brief. Did not face a ball. Run out, naught. He was well out. Glamorgan batsman Lloyd standing there now forlornly at the non-striker's end, thinking, why did I call for that single? That's the first nought of the match. It's Colin Ingram coming in at number 3. And the run-out was completed by Jack Brooks. Lovely bit of fielding. Hit the stumps. Only 1 and a bit stumps to aim at. It's left-handed Ingram. First ball, off-driven, 4 runs. Somerset with 4 slips, cover point, mid-off, 2 saving, 1 on the short leg, 1 saving, 1 on the leg side, and a deep fine leg. And drives again, this time spectacularly fielded at mid-on. Forward defensive shot this time by Ingram. Picked up by Lewis Gregory. Tosses the catcher to himself as he wanders back to his mark. It's Gregory into Ingram, who drives straight to cover point. We have Josh Davey opening the bowling from the Lordy and Botham stand end. Bowling to David Lloyd. No run off the first ball. It's noticeable how the 2 slip cordons are lining up. Glamorgan, when they were fielding, were an arc. The Somerset slip cordon is in an echelon, where they're all facing the same way, where the Glamorgan fielders are also all facing the stumps. Lloyd Almost another run out. Lloyd tucks that one away to mid-on. Thinks about a run. Ingram starts. But they decide against it. Ian Blackwell, the umpires, called for the tamper down. As Josh Davies having trouble with his footholds there. They were using the tamper before the game started today at this end of the pitch. There's nothing worse for a fast bowler than to have loose footmark. Groundsman there running, well, hardly running. It's about my pace. Tamp down. Working hard. If it's that bad, David will probably kick it up again when he bowls next time. That'll do for a bit. Those tampers the groundsman's carrying are not light. Solid cast iron head on them. Lloyd pushes that one back towards mid-on. The sun makes a fleeting appearance. Shadows of the slips there are quite long. Lloyd tries to turn that to leg. Misses. It trickles out on the offside. It's Josh Davey again coming in. Lloyd does get this one away, but just down to fine leg for a single. Everybody changes over. Colin Ingram left-handed. And Davey comes around the wicket. Ingram pushes it to square leg. Easy single. Everybody happy. Ingram steals the bowling. After 2 overs, Glamorgan, I suspect it will be 6 for 1. Yes, 6 for 1. Ingram on 5, Lloyd on 1. Two overs gone. It's Lewis Gregory again. Ingram pushes it into the covers. The ball is hurled back at Rue. The slips play catch with it. Before it's thrown back to the chap who originally fielded it. No wonder cricket's a slow game sometimes. Gregory again around the wicket. Ingram flashes straight to cover point. No run. Gregory in again. Tucks Ingram up. That's a no ball. Ben Peveril signals. Right arm extended. There's 2 more runs for Glamorgan. Gregory in again, round the wicket. Ingram drives. Surprise, 4 runs. The ball doesn't actually reach the edge of the square. The boundary is so short. But it's the same for both sides. It's Gregory again. To Ingram. Defensive shot. Ball just trickles away a couple of yards. And you Mead fields. The usual thing, one of the youngest members, the newest members of the team goes to short leg. As it always was, always will be. Ingram again off the back foot, just pushes it towards the covers. No run. 1 ball remaining in this, the 3rd over. And Gregory's going to try it from over the wicket. See if that makes any difference. David Lloyd has moved across to the other side. The umpire's told the batsman he's coming over the wicket. Slips move a little wider. And the ball is played out to cover. It's interesting, the slips were still moving and as Gregory was running into bowl. Davy again for his 2nd over from the far end. The Lordy and Botham stand end, or the river end, or the station end, or Quantock's end, whichever you prefer. It's Davy bowling to Lloyd, who clips him backward of square for 6. It's quite a short boundary. The ball has gone into the Somerset stand. Davy again to Lloyd. Pushes it towards mid-on. A few paces to right. Picks it up, threatens to throw the wicket down. Never any danger of a run out. Again, Lloyd plays to mid-on. But Ingram hadn't moved from his crease. There's no danger again of a run-out. I think Davey is still unhappy with the footholds there. Lloyd tucks this one away through mid-wicket. Just a single. Field all change over again for the left-handed Ingram. And Davey can come round the wicket where the foothold is a little bit more secure. That was just defended back by Ingram. Well, we've had 3.5 hours play, more than I anticipated we'd have today. Or 2.5 hours, sorry, not 3.5. I didn't think we were going to get any play at all. And Ingram taps that one back to the bowler at the end of the over. The ground staff did a remarkable job this morning. It took them nearly an hour to get all the plastic sheeting off. As I had to squeegee it first to get the surface water off. Get the super sopper on it. I'm not sure whether you can see them on screen, but on the square you can see the marks where the super sopper was going across diagonally to take water off the sheet covers. There's Gregory again bowling. Now, this time to Lloyd. 4 slips are in. 4 slips and a short leg. Lloyd defends. Another no ball. Another 2 runs to the Glamorgan total. Good job, it doesn't really matter. It's Gregory in again to Lloyd. Pushes it to mid-off. It was running in fast. Anticipating the ball coming to him. Ingram rehearses clouting the ball through extra cover. Gregory in again to Lloyd. Has a swing at it outside the leg stump. Only gets his body in the way. Didn't time the swing at all. If he'd made any sort of contact with it, it would have either been 4 or 6. Because there's no one out there. That's Lloyd out. Caught, I think, by Overton. Off an outside edge. Give Gregory a wicket. Overton bowled Gregory for 8. A nice catch. I suspect the ball left him slightly. He found the outside edge of the defensive shot. Easily poached by Overton in his big hands. Lloyd trudges off disconsolately. Walking past the covers there, as you can see the sheet covers. Waiting to go on in about 20 minutes' time. The incoming batsman appears to be Sam Northeast. Started his career with Kent, then moved to Hampshire, and has now come to Glamorgan, where he became a very prolific batsman last season. Number 16, Sam Northeast, taking guard there from Ben Peverell. Slight adjustment to the field. Umead has gone from short square leg to silly mid-on, which is forcing Colin Ingram to stand wide at the bowler's end, so given the chance he'll be able to run. Gregory in. Sam Northeast taps it back. Gregory fields. Not seen many seagulls around today. There's a few pigeons flying around. Hopefully the seagull's not using my car as target practice again. Northeast punches that one through mid-off. Diving stop. Did not happen. 4 runs. Just Northeast off the mark with a 4. I'm sorry I can't identify the Somerset fielders for you, but there are no numbers on the jumpers, and a lot of them have got bobble hats on. They look very much the same. My old eyes can't pick out features that clearly from that distance. Lewis Gregory's lost a boot, bowling at last ball. Cunningly standing on the pitch to stamp the boot back on. Not that I'm insinuating any wrongdoing on his behalf. It's going to be Davey again, bowling from the Botham end to Colin Ingram. Keeper and 4 slips. He got 4 bobble hats and a cap. Ingram pushes out into the covers. No run. The other bobble-hatted fielders at backward point, or cover point, and mid-on. Slightly fortuitous for Ingram there, off the outside edge. Past the slips, all along the deck. But 4 runs. That perhaps he wasn't expecting. Davey coming in again to Ingram. Tucked away to backward square leg. 1 run. Which brings Sam Northeast down to face. Everybody runs across and changes over. Mead going again to silly mid-on. Northeast must be prone to a little uppish push in that direction. Is Davey into him? Tucks it away to backward square leg. Another single. And everybody moves around again, playing musical chairs. Davey round the wicket again. Ingram goes for an off drive, gets an inside edge down to fine leg. Another single. Quantocks are still looking very dark and foreboding. The fields are a very dark green, much darker green than the field here. Davey bowls to Northeast, who pushes it to Umid, short leg, forward short leg. End of the over. Still Gregory. We'd now move to silly mid-off. Ingram defends. The ball bounces, almost hits his stumps. Not quite. If they're going to take singles this time, Northeast looks to be having to run between Umid and the pitch. There's not a lot of room there. Ingram again plays it defensively. The ball is slowly returned towards the bowler. Ingram defended. Sorry. Sorry about that. Slight cough. Slashing shot from Ingram. Gets 4 runs backward of square. Once again, the net seems to have saved the ball from a swim in the Atkinson ponds. Gregory again into Ingram. Plays and misses outside the off stump. Rue takes it. Everybody who touches the ball on the way back has a little shine. Let's hope it's effective. Not very, because short, outside off stump, Ingram stays it away to third man again for another boundary. That's the end of the over. Somerset are 40 for no wicket. North East on 5, Ingram on 23. We've had 7 overs. Davies bowled 3 overs for 16. Gregory 4 overs, 1 for 24. And if you add up those bowling figures, you see there are no extras. Oh, sorry, 4 extras. Yeah, there are no ball, of course. No, 2 no balls. If I had a brain, I'd be quite dangerous. I wonder what's going on out there. Look at a few mothers' meetings. But the outcome is Davies continuing to bowl. We now have 2 short legs. A short leg and a silly mid-on. That goes through North East. And 4 byes. Moved quite late down the leg side. James Rue didn't have a lot of chance with that. It's 4 more for the Glamorgan total and 4 more for the extras. As a silver train pulls out of Taunton Station. All stations north and east. Davy again. North East pushes it back to the bowler. Now mid-on has come into silly mid-on, and Yumi's gone back to square short leg. So apart from those 2 on the leg side, the only leg side fielder is deep fine leg. So if North East can get it through past Yumi there, well, between the 2 of them, he's got runs. Up off the back foot he defends and pushes it straight back to Davy. Doesn't field it cleanly, but does manage to stop it. Yumi's just realised that if the ball does go past him, he might have a long chase. It's Davy in again, over the wicket. North East cuts. 4. One of the non-players in the dugout runs out to pick the ball up. It's gone under the covers. There it is. That was a sit up and hit me, that ball. Sat up and begged, please hit me. With 6 fielders around the bat, there's only 3 fielders. Not. So any loose delivery is going to get runs. Same again. Only this time, it's just past mid-off. We dived to try to save it. Failed. Again, the net prevents the ball having a swim. That's the Glamorgan 50 up. No, 52 for 2. Slips take up their positions again. Northeast tucks that one away in the leg side, but doesn't go very far. And fielded. That's the end of the over. Davey seems to be hobbling a little bit, whether he's strained something. Or just went over slightly on his ankle whilst delivering that last ball. The umpire's having a chat, maybe about the light. It's looking a bit gloomy. Ian Blackwell just gesticulating wildly. But they're coming in to their normal positions. Ben Peveril approaching this end as Jack Brooks removes his sweater. They have a ball. Those who've missed it, he performed a wonderful run out off the second ball of this innings. When Lloyd pushed the ball into the covers, called fellow opener Dan Douthwaite for a quick single. Brooks pounced through, hit stumps. Douthwaite a yard out. Poor man. Didn't bat in the first innings, has run out without facing a ball second innings. Not really worth him bringing his kit. But it happens. Well, you just saw it there on the screen. It's happened to all of us at one time or another, though, as we play cricket. You all get a run out without facing a ball or first ball duck. And Ingram chops that first ball from Brooks away to third man. Four more runs. I suspect this will be the last over of the day. It's coming up to 6 o'clock. Glamorgan are currently now 56-2. Pushed to mid-on. Fielded. No run. Short, Hoyt through mid-wicket, 4 runs. 4 more to Ingram. Batted very nicely for his 39 in the first innings and is now 31 not out. Class batsman. But when Labuschagne is back with Glamorgan, Ingram will probably be playing in the seconds. Bottom edge, trickle through the roo. Ingram plays and misses again. Rue takes it. Three balls to go in the day's play. Sorry, 2 balls. Score was a bit late catching up. Ingram edges towards slip. Diving stop. Save 4 runs. Not a catch. Ingram clips that one through mid-wicket, or mid-on. 4 runs. I suspect that will finish the day. Glamorgan on 66 for 2 off 9 overs. Northeast on 13. Ingram on 35. And Brooks conceded 14 runs in that last over. The players quietly walking off. I don't think we could have played much longer anyway with the light. I'm afraid I won't be with you tomorrow. Someone else will be sitting in the commentary box. I'm off to Gloucestershire to have a game of bowls. I'm just going to fly now. I'll just be home in time to go out again. Go and see the Bishop of Bath and Wells. Thank you for staying with us through this truncated day. Hope you've enjoyed the cricket you've seen. We hopefully can welcome you back tomorrow, rain permitting. Good night from the county ground at Taunton.